Good morning, everybody. We are here at the Midwest Open 2014. I'm standing with Darren Christianberry, no stranger to the Bow Junkie cameras. Going to go over Darren's setup here with What's the Pro shooting segment. Darren, talk to us a little bit about what's going on. Is this a new bow for this year?
It is. It's the 2015 Elite Victory.
Okay.
It's a 39-inch axle-to-axle bow, 7-inch brace height. The same features that we had in 2014 with the riser cage. It's a new cam design, same limb stops. It's just this bow, as good as the 35 shot and as good as Levi shot the 35 in 2014, it's going to be sick to watch him and Chance. And my practice has been better this year than ever, so my confidence level's up. But in capable hands, this bow's going to be dangerous, I'm sure. So I'm excited.
Didn't you guys do something different with the coat, too? Because isn't this a different finish? Or maybe on the cams?
On the cams and the mods and the pockets and the cable slide.
What's the reason for that?
The Cerakote that we were using wasn't as durable as what they were hoping, so they did a new blend. It's called Pro Coat. It's a more consistent, smooth, more matte finish, and it's supposed to be more durable. So it's just an improvement over what we had.
Awesome. Okay, what do you got going on here? Obviously, you've got something going on with your strings.
These are Winner's Choice. I mean, all of our bows come standard with Winner's Choice strings, but these are our Winner's Choice strings.
Do you know, are you guys running like a 452, an 81? What are you running?
BCYX.
Okay.
BCYX material, yeah. And you can get anything through Winners, but standard on the Elite bows is BCYX.
Okay. What are you running for peep size? And, you know, is this... Obviously, this is not your 3D setup. This is strictly an indoor setup for you. So what are you doing here with peep size? Do you run clarifiers and stuff like that?
I don't, and I don't know if it's the glasses. I am. I tried the contacts, and the contacts on the 3D range, and my depth perception wasn't as good, and I didn't feel like I was seeing the targets as good. And I've shot in glasses forever, so that's what I know. So that's what I'm comfortable with. I went back to it, but I'm shooting a 332nd peep with no clarifier, a 4-power lens with a big black dot. It's just what my eyes like. You know, I aim with it. I'm comfortable with it, and that's just what my eyes they're happy with.
Okay. Let's talk about your sight setup here for a second. What are you running for your sight?
This is actually last year's model, the CBE Elite Target. It's the click adjustment. We've got the new Vertex. I've got the sights. This is how I set this bow up, and I didn't want to change it, so I just ran with it. But it's the CBE Elite Target. Got a trophy taker arrow rest with a 10 thousandths wide launcher that I customized a little bit.
Okay, do you put a black backer on that?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I ran 12s with some of my heavier arrows. 8's just too weak for me. 10's kind of a happy medium, and I just like it, you know.
All right. All right, let's talk about a little bit about these doinkers you got going on here. You've got your front bar. Now, this does not look like a 30-inch front bar. What do you got here, 26?
It's a 30.
Is it really?
It is a 30, yeah.
Just a small diameter that makes it look small?
It might be. It's the Platinum High Mods from Doinker. It's a 30-inch with 4 ounces.
This is not their new stuff, right?
It's not.
Okay.
It's not the new stuff.
Are you going to be running that when it comes out?
Possibly, yeah. This stuff here works really well, so I'm not real big on change, you know. When you find something that works, sticks with it, you know, or stick with it. So I got a 30 on the front with 4 ounces. I got a 12 on the back with 16. I'm running it on a low mount hole. A lot of guys running on the high hole. Okay. I tried that. I just felt like the bow aimed a little better, and just I think it responded better to me on the low hole. So I'm running it there. I'm shooting 58.5 pounds with about 19 pounds of holding weight, and real happy with this setup.
Now, just quickly, I want to ask this because I'm going to, and I think you can respect me enough to know that this is not a lead-in or a trick question. But I've noticed it with Chance's bow, I've noticed it with Levi's bow, and now with your bow. What is there something with the geometry of the bow that you guys are loading up on back weight? I see so much more back weight with the Elite bows. Is there a reason for that?
You know, and I don't know that it's. And Chance is running even more than me. When we did Chance's, I made the switch video. I played with his bow, and I was like, man, this thing aims better than mine. You know, so I went home and tried his weight configuration.
I don't want guys out there to struggle with the bow when it can simply be adding some weight to it.
And I think for me, and I think Chance's ratio too, it's about a 4-to-1 ratio. Okay. You know, so if you're running 4 on the front, you run 16 on the back. If you're running 8 on the front, you run 32 on the back. You know. Okay. That just seems to work out. I don't know. It's personal preference, you know. I think it's a feel, and the way the bow aims and reacts during the shot, I think that's something you have to find. I tried Chance's weight setup, and at first it was really nice, but as I went through the round, I kept feeling the bow tilt to the left. I had to force it back because there was so much back weight. So for me personally, that didn't work as well.
Okay. Real quickly, I don't want to forget about something. You guys obviously did something different with the grip this year, didn't you? Yeah. Talk a little bit about that.
This is an integral grip. We've always had side plates and a little bit of a rounded back. This is a really flat back release, back grip, and we've milled it off nice and smooth. They're super comfortable. When we went to the factory to test it, the grip was one thing. We said we might need to change that a little bit. The engineers changed it. Man, I love it.
I would say it's by far the most particular part of the bow for you guys. Everybody has their own way. They either wrap it or I've seen guys take sandpaper and grind things down.
Yeah, no doubt. And the Ninja finish on our bows has a little bit of a grit or a texture to it, so you can really get in there nice. The anodized bows are super slick, so I might have to do something there to keep my, palms get sweaty, get a little nervous.
Tuscaloosa it gets hot and humid.
No doubt. So, you might need to doctor the grip up a little bit, but the angle and the feel, man, it's spot on for me.
Awesome. All right, let's talk about what release are you running this week, and I can't wait to talk about these arrows, you guys.
I'm shooting. This is a prototype that I got back in probably June or July. We're going to have 2 new releases this year: a Focus and the Anchor. This is the Focus. It's an aluminum body. This is actually going to take the place of the Longhorns that we've had in the lineup forever. The finger position, the pivot point's been moved over your index finger just a little bit, so this release does fire with less pressure. It fires easier. Okay. We're going to have the finger extensions like we have on the X's Core and the back spins, where you can custom it to whatever you want to do. The Anchor is going to be...
It's so big because there's nothing more frustrating as a I'm just going to call it, you know how they say scratch golfers? Well, I'm not a scratch archer at all, but you buy a release and then you see somebody shoot the release a little bit better than you that has one more finger attachment on it. And you're like, I either got to buy another one, but I love the fact that these companies are now making things more interchangeable and customizable for us.
Right, and it's just super convenient, Like you said, it's just awesome to be able to change that. Hey, I want to try the 4-finger try. That wasn't for me. Go back to your 3. You're all set. You spent $25 instead of $200.
Right, and a whole lot of wasted time on Archer Talk trying to sell it.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Okay. All right. So when will this be available?
This is supposed to start shipping, I think, in the next couple of weeks. They said mid-December, but I would say probably to the later end of December. I hope we start shipping them before ATA show. But it should be real soon. So this is the Focus. We're going to have one called the Anchor 2. It's going to have a hole, kind of similar to the Black Hole, but it's going to have the finger extensions also. Gotcha. So.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about these arrows.
These arrows, and I'll tell you why.
These arrows, folks.
I'll tell you why I'm shooting these arrows. I've been shooting 23-15s for 6 weeks. I don't know why a 23-15 just shoots phenomenal. We're going overseas again, so yeah, I have to shoot 23s over there, but I have a tough time mentally coming to a tournament where everybody else on the line is going to be shooting 26s or 27s. Right. And you're behind the 8 ball right then, So I thought, well, I wasn't having any luck getting my 27s to be as forgiving with my setup. I just shot the 23s better. Well, I was down at Gun World shooting with Chance last week, and I was talking to Eddie, and I look up there and I see these old camouflage Super Slam 26-13s, and I had some 26s at home, and they tuned good out of the bow, but I didn't have enough to really practice with, so I said, let me take a dozen of those home and just see what happens. Man, I was pounding with them. Why not? So, old school Super Slam camos.
Dude, they're so awesome. I can tell you that my family farm back home, there's got to be $400 worth of these out there, and it's still in the bean field. Yes, under the leaves and wherever. But yeah, it's just a testament. I'm not going to lie. It's just a testament to that design of that arrow for years.
There's great arrow companies out there. Carbon arrows are as good as anything you can buy. But this arrow is the exact same from 19 whatever this was built to the ones they're building today. It's the exact same arrow. They'll hit in the same hole as the new silver 2712s or the black 2613s. It's the same arrow. So
they're just, and you know what? This retro look, it is kind of coming back. When you guys brought that silver finish out last year, we might be back to the old Realtree advantage.
I find some pretty cool arrows in some of these shops I visit now, so I've been bringing out some old school stuff, and it's a good conversation piece.
Yeah. Okay, something real quickly. What are you running on your point weight?
250 Pro Points. Okay. And 360 Flex Fletch vanes, Easton Super 3D knock. It's just a bulletproof. Okay, question for you. Last year I talked to you, and you were running a left helical. Mm-hmm. Are you doing that again this year? I am. So, depending on the, especially on the 2-track bows, a binary cam system, you use the cable guard to get tunes on certain arrows. If you're getting a knock right tear, you need to put more tension on the cable rod to get that tear back so you can bring your rest back in. I want to not have any more tension on there than I have to. So when I run the left helical, it allows me to turn my arrow the opposite direction. It minimizes the clearance needed to get those vanes or feathers past the cables. Gotcha. So there's a method behind the madness there.
Gotcha. Well, there it is, folks. There's Darren Christianberry set up here for the Midwest Open. Is this the setup you're going to run with in Vegas as well, or are you going to mess it around with it a little bit?
I've got a couple new bows coming. I won't very much. I mean, I keep it simple. You know, about the same setup for 3D. This bow's fast, so I'll do some arrow changes, you know, to tweak my speeds a little bit. But this is going to be my go-to bow for all year. ASA, IBO, indoors. It's going to be the bow.
Awesome. Elite Outdoor Group, Scott CBE, Mr. Darren Christianberry, What's a Pro Shooting? Thank you, Darren.
Thank you.